Labor, as you've heard, is tearing up the landscape on a platform of achieving climate targets on renewables only, something no other country in the world has been able to achieve. It is a plan running on a whim and a prayer. All the warnings are there. Our transition to renewables is happening back to front. The energy market operator is warning of a summer of blackouts due to delays in transmission lines and renewable projects. AEMO said this has resulted in the increased risk of power shortages in Victoria and New South Wales for the next 4 summers, would you believe, and in South Australia for the 2026-27 summer. It also says large users may need to switch off plants to avoid blackouts. I mean, seriously, the path we are on is complete madness. In February, Victoria's Loy Yang went offline after a freak storm, leaving more than 530,000 without power. And in New South Wales, residents were told by the Labor state government to turn off air conditioning and delay using appliances in the middle of a heat wave because the energy grid wasn't coping. Is this a peep into the future on a renewable-only magic carpet ride? Heat stroke versus frostbite, take your pick. Meanwhile, the Araring coal fire station has had its life extended. Say no more. Yet Chris Bowen will tell you to
stick with the plan to get to 82% renewables, to stick with the plan for the cheapest form of energy, which is renewables, to stick with the plan which has seen renewable energy up by 25% since we came to office.
Yeah, a plan that has gone so well for you, old mate, when electricity prices have risen by double-digit rates across the past 2 years. And that was without that $275 in energy relief, of course. So why not let us voters decide whether we do want to stick to your plan? But he didn't stop there.
Mr Dutton wants to be cut off from the rest of the world. Mr Dutton's isolated here. He's isolated from his state and territory parties. He's isolated from the business community. He's isolated from the science community. He's isolated from sensible policy. Mr Dutton's out on his own.
So is Bowen seriously saying he would be isolated from the rest of the world when more than 30 countries have nuclear power plants?
Do you think that the collective intellectual might of Chris Bowen and Anthony Albanese outweighs that of 19 of the top 20 economies in the world, their leaders? I mean, is that a serious proposition? I don't think so.
Now, look, watch out, because Labor will focus on big, bad nuclear scare campaigns. In fact, we've been given an exclusive look at just one of those they're going to roll out.
All right, we eat tonight.
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it writes itself, doesn't it? Labor is drumming up a scare campaign despite acquiring nuclear submarines for the Navy. So as the winter bites, can we really rely on renewables only for years to come? For generations to come, my generation, future generations, we need cheap, reliable energy. And it cannot be denied there is, of course, a fight ahead for the opposition. But if we don't make that change and look at proven alternatives like nuclear, we will forever risk being plunged into Labor's darkness on these cold winter nights.